And it goes a little something like.
You are summer and after I'll keep you are summer and after
What is up, everyone?
What's up, yo? What's up? How you doing?
Welcome back to the Dumo podcast, episode 12.
12. Let's go. Down in the books. Oh my goodness. Yo, my head, no lie, bro. Like, it's a little fuzzy because I don't have my glasses. I forgot that, like, to bring it today.
Oh, your glasses?
Yeah, my
Yeah,
glasses.
I'm too lazy to. I feel like I wear my glasses so much. I'm so used to seeing like clear.
Vivid, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm like, oh my God, it just got blurry today. Just got blurry as I came here, and I was like, oh, damn, I forgot my glasses, you know? But, whatchamacall? Hey, guys, welcome back to a brand new podcast. Podcast 12. Wow, bro. We going through, bro. We pushing it forward, bro.
Word.
My son Sonam told me that he would what? You're not gonna give up? You really gonna join the Navy if
I'm not 180.
Damn, bro, that's a crazy commitment. That's good though.
Yeah.
Stick with
It's
it,
funny.
yo. You know?
It's a funny like is it like funny goal to a funny challenge for myself, like, damn, do I really want to join the Navy? Like, people's like, I don't know if I have to repeat it again, but like, the only reason I'm setting myself as like that is for my YouTube channel, so I could go back to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I'm doing YouTube channel for my career because I want to make like kind of like travel vlogs or like food travel vlogs. Something
I
like
would
that.
so be there with you, bro. I would so be there with you.
Something like that. So like, I want to go to like different states, different countries.
Yeah.
Try out food, like experience. Like, if I don't know if you know Bald and Bankrupt and Harold Balder, they're pretty old. They're like maybe like in
I
their
think I
40s.
know. Did they go like European countries and they're
Yeah.
like, hey?
They go to Russia, they go to India. There's some white dudes, they're funny.
They walk around with like their camera like that, right?
Yeah. It's like a
those
little
guys.
tiny one.
Ah.
And I'm like,
seen
oh,
them.
like that's something interesting, you know. But they're very scared to eat their food, you know. But me, like, I wanna go there for the experience. So like, I wanna try different things. Like, I'd be more willing to eat that country's food. So I'm like, yo, that's the kind of lifestyle I wanna live. Like, you know, just travel. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so yo, if I can't do that for myself, like be healthy and stuff like that, then get your ass to the Navy and just get a regular 9 to 5.
No, that's good. You weigh yourself like every week, or like what's the weighing process like?
I'm weighing myself every day to see if I'm losing weight. So I'm checking every day that I'm losing, making sure I'm losing.
Okay, I see.
So far the goal weight that I should send you the picture. What was that? 228.
Yeah, you said 220. I really thought you were 200.
Yeah, I'll gain OD weight.
This dude, yo.
Cause I just got lazy, you know. But cause me, like, I could eat the same food as Andre, but I will still gain more weight just because of my metabolism. My body's different because I don't eat a lot. People think like I'm eating OD. I have to eat really less. So I'm at 223.8. When
So you lost
checked.
5 pounds. That's
Yeah,
good.
like 4 pounds.
I think, to be honest, I think like for those of you guys that don't know, that didn't watch our previous podcast, we had a very special trainer, Mario, come in. And I think, to be honest, if you were to commit maybe like the morning times, don't work out with me, bro. Work out with him because he'll like push you, you know. And I think his agenda and the way that he trains people is a lot more different than if I were to train somebody. Because, you know, you can only become the product of who your mentor is. So if I'm like giving you the things that I work out with, it might work out with me, but it might not be suitable for you because you're not at that stage. You know, you're not at my stage. You're at your own stage. So you have to keep up with your pace. Maybe Mario will be able to evaluate a little bit better.
Yeah, I worked out with him before, but I feel like I like working on my own pace.
No, that's good.
My own pace. Because like yesterday, like I'm like, if I don't go to the park, I'm doing calisthenics at the crib. I'm doing burpees, like I'm burning calories, you know. So I'm like I was looking on YouTube, like, cause it's like really hot, like 97 degrees. I'm like, damn.
Oh yeah, it was dumb hot yesterday.
They call it like excessive heat warning. I'm like, oh damn, but
Yo, it was dumb hot. I didn't even like. I went to eat Khao Kang yesterday. I went to eat like that. Is my favorite Thai spot. You guys are in Queens, Khao Kang. Yo, these Thai people, they're making a killing, bro. So much restaurants, and it is the same thing, but they're like, I'm pretty sure it's like from different parts of Thailand. So Like I just love cow can because it's the way that they cook their food. I don't know, you know.
It's hella good. Yeah.
But we was talking about we was talking about what when you like why you work out alone.
Yeah.
Right? It's good. Understand that. You know you want to work out alone and stuff. I just feel like you should have like someone to push you harder, like dumb hard. Because remember when we used to go to football practice, and like the coach would be there. I would for me when I was doing those drills. Imagine climb up those hills by yourself, like running up the hills. I wouldn't be able to go at my pace because then I'll know like okay, I'll put a limit. Like all right, I need to chill for a bit. But the coach will be like, come on, like he'll motivate you to like keep going and like there's no stopping. It'll be like consistent for like 10 minutes. You'll be like, oh my goodness, you know. And then you feel like that thing where it's like, oh, I want this to be over. You know?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's like, oh my, when is this gonna be over? But those moments where you feel like you want it to be over, but you keep pushing yourself. I don't know if you probably the one that told me like, you know, your body's like only going 40% and you have another 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the one that told me
Yeah.
that. So I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, like me, like I notice that, but I don't do that. I don't stop.
Notice what?
Like you know how you set your limit because you're by yourself. Like for instance, like yesterday when I was doing push-ups, right? I was like 10, and then you know how like 4 sets of 10, this and that. I'm like, but I'm like in my head, I'm like, yeah, I feel it a little bit, but I'm not burning out. And when your body gets stronger, you go to like kind of like too close to failure, because now your body's capping out. So if I stop at 10 and I struggle, but I still got like 6, 7 more left, then I push myself to do 6, 7 more till I'm like,
yeah, it's for hard to you to push up.
Yeah, so because then I know I'm building, I'm getting stronger, because I'm like, I'm capping out at this like 17. Now next is like 18. If I keep on stopping at 10, it's never like I'm never gonna grow, because I know that. Like I'm like, I'm never gonna like be stronger. Same way with like running. When I'm running and I'm like, oh shit, I'm kind of tired. Like, I could stop right now, but I'm like, no, that just cap out till you like really about to like your legs are shaking, you're like breathing like crazy. Then it's like, because I know that for myself, because you know we play football, so I know like when you go to failure or to fatigue, that's when you're gonna grow. That's why like I feel like I don't really need a trainer.
You get okay. I see what you mean now. You get like runner's high, because I've never experienced that until when I started running, which was like 2 years ago. I remember I used to hate running. I still do to this day, but it was when I was running like a year ago. I was doing treadmills at first, and that was when I first experienced runner's highs, when I was doing treadmills and I felt like I was gonna pass out. I just waited an extra 2 to 3 minutes, kept running, and then for some weird reason my body's telling me like, yo, you could go for longer.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I just kept running, shoot. You know, the machine's like, shoot. That's all you hear, right? So then I tried it on the outside. I went to go run outside, and I went to Juniper Valley. I remember, I think me, my girlfriend, their parents, my family came too. And I was running, and I was like, oh, snap. Like, I could actually keep pushing myself. Like, now to think about it, I'm like, whoa, I did 8 laps. Like, and I was timing myself. I wouldn't be able to do 8 laps. Like, I'll be tired by like 1 or 2. But I was like doing 8 laps, and I even pushed myself once to do 12, and I was like, yo, I did 12 laps.
That's good. That's like 2-3 miles. I think for every 4 laps is 1 mile.
Every 4 laps is 1 mile.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. I remember I was counting 12, and then at the end I wasn't heaving or anything. It was just like, it was like controlled breathing, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. I need to get back on it, but it is, yeah. I don't know. It's like a different type of high. It's not like smoking weed or anything. It's more like. And it's I feel like it's positive reinforcement, because you're getting exercise out of it, and you're building that, what is that called? That toughness, and like your breathing, things like that. So
like for those of you who don't know what like runner's high, it's not like you start seeing like psychedelic. Like I saw a Family Guy episode when he was like seeing like mushrooms and shit.
while he was running.
Yeah, that's not it. It's like for example, it's like another gear your body and your mind kicks into, like, oh shit, like okay, for instance, you know when you first start off running, you feel it, oh fuck, and you feel it in your legs.
Heavy.
But then if you push yourself a little bit more, then your body is like going. Now you don't feel it no more. You're like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't think I could run this much. It's like another gear your body kicks into. That's what they call like
runner's high. Yeah. So I feel like okay, now we're talking about runner's high, right? We could implement that kind of sensation, that stimulus of like runner's high into our daily lives. Like, you know, I believe we all have a second gear, third gear, fourth gear, whether it comes to business, whether it comes to self-management. I think everyone has that, you know, like that shift in their gears, and it's just a matter of prolonging yourself, being able to keep going and then even go further, you know. So like if you feel like your business is stagnant, or if you feel like, you know, your trading is stagnant, just take it, you know, keep that momentum going, and then you'll finally be able to achieve that runner's high in that business or in that trading venture if you just keep on committing.
Yeah.
You know, because I try to implement the things that I do regularly on a regular basis to other things in parts of my life, like in a relationship, like what can, you know, or you could probably have a runner's high when you're in a relationship. And I don't know if this is making sense to you, but, or if you're understanding, like, you know, some people, they go through relationships and they're like, okay, now what? You know, they go through that phase where it's like, okay, we made out, we had sex and blah, 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 you know. I'm just implying this in case my mom watches. I get paranoid, bro. My mom gonna watch. You had sex? Asian parents, bro.
True.
I don't think about you. Maybe not you. My parent. Oh my goodness. This guy got sex, bro. Oh,
I'm sure
Lord.
she knows back of her head, because she's like, come on, Andre's 25, 26 now, going to 26.
Dang,
You gotta
bro.
at
I'm
least-
getting old. Let me chill, bro. I'm getting old, bro. We're getting 26. Yo, we need.
Yeah, we're getting 26 years old, bro.
We're getting old, and on top of that, what I've been seeing a lot is, if your dreams and your aspirations don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. At first, I was scared. I was like, "Oh, I'm finally gonna move out." It's scary to me, you know, like the
Yeah,
thought.
even me.
You know, it's like, yo, the thought of moving out by
you're not
yourself.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's like, whoa, what I need to do. I know I'm gonna be moving out with you, but I know in the back of my mind, comfortability is still there because I know you've experienced of how to move out on your own. Like, you know, you've moved out before.
Yeah.
You know, not
Living
me
somewhere
though.
different, right?
Yeah, living with someone different. I feel like I'll adjust to it. Like, you know, if we live together, I'll adjust to it. Like, bro, I know you for mad long, so it's like it's easy. It's just finally getting out of the household and then realizing that, oh snap, like I'm out of my house, I'm out of my parents' house.
Yeah.
And I'm living on my own, so I gotta figure out a way to budget. I gotta, like, none of those shits was taught to us in school. I didn't learn that. I'm pretty sure you learned that at a younger age than me. You learned it at 18.
Yeah, like this paying for rent. I mean, I still was living with my family, but
Yeah, but there was an understanding where, like, oh, I have to pay rent.
yeah,
You know, like, so that's like the thing that's gonna. Eventually everyone like is gonna have to pay rent. I understand that. You know, it's just like you said, when it comes to running, like that first initiative, that first initiation of like actually running. But then afterwards, when you get the ball rolling, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You know, but the thing with being like that feeling that I get, like, oh shit, like I'm kind of like I'm moving out now. Now I'm trying to find other ways to like find a way like make money. Like I'm trying to do freelance right now. So I'm trying to like I went to Fiverr. I set up like a thing where I will edit people's thumbnail because
Okay.
I feel like I'm good at Photoshop. So like I could edit people's thumbnail for like $25. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking with one guy. He probably has like 250,000 subscribers. You know, I think he does like tech, and I could edit his shit easy, like a thumbnail. $25, like side money. You know,
Right.
that edit is probably gonna take me like 15, 20 minutes, max 30. You know, because it depends like how good he wants it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm like trying to figure out ways to like make like income.
Side income, yeah. And that's good because that type of, I feel like the freelancing industry, freelancing in general, where you have you don't have set days, really pushes you, motivates you to get that money. Because it's not set. It's not like set in stone where you're like, okay, I have to be at a certain time. It's whatever time that you put in, you're gonna whatever time you sow, you will reap in rewards, right?
Yeah.
With like whatever profit you make. So that just gives it incentivizes for you to get up and get grinding.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. for example, bro, I really want you to keep pursuing your Sonam Chops Wood channel, bro.
Yeah.
Do videos, bro. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, I understand that you want to come back at. I understand you want to come back at it when you're like a much more fit and healthier version of yourself.
Yeah, more because like it's not for looks. Like, of course, looks is part of the thing, but it's mostly like my confidence and my mental state, that the way I feel. Because like I don't feel good when I'm like already overweight and I'm already eating like this for a video. So it's like for me personally, it was like like I will enjoy it than other things, you know. But it's like for my mental state and the way I am, is like I feel like I'm not setting a good example.
I get you.
You
I
know?
get you. And I think what we should really take into account and really focus on is, Sonny, bro, like you haven't been posting up videos since when? Since like
3 months ago.
April, right?
Yeah.
April, May. Because I remember I used to like I would be so happy like, yo, we're gonna go out to eat. I'm like, oh, yes.
You know our Ethiopian food? It had like 45,000 views.
See, you know, and I love that because whatever videos you put, right, you already have an idea and you already know that it'll make sense in the long run. It's just, I understand where you're coming from, that, you know, you don't feel comfortable, like, not in front of the camera. It's just more so like your mental state of mind. You want to be physically, mentally, spiritually, you know, settled before coming onto a camera. That's why for me, my thing to you is, if you could keep on going, by all means do it, but take this time to really write down your like mission statement and what your vision is for Sonam Chops Wood.
Yeah.
Bro, because this is always going to be here. The podcast is always going to be here. But don't let 30,000, you know, subscribers down, bro. Don't let them, you know, like, you have so much following.
That's true.
and it's there. And I feel like, I don't think this is like I don't feel like this is a start over. This is like a different route, right? With the podcasting. And it's a good thing. It's it's definitely a change that could benefit both of us, you know, making us come up with ideas, making us really just use the other side of our brain. Because, you know, we have logic to our brain, we have the creativity side, left brain, right brain, right?
Yeah.
I feel like my logical side is like me going to school and like using that part of my brain, and then this side is like the creativity, like filming, editing. Those are creative sides of, you know, this is an art if you really think about it.
That's true, yeah.
You know, and going back to you talking about was that freelancing, right? Like you're making those videos. Do it, bro.
Yeah.
Put up your services. That's a service in itself. That could be a business, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna tell you, like, because right now, like, with my free time, right? Like, now I'm not playing video games.
Yeah,
now,
bro. I stopped that,
yeah,
bro.
I stopped, bro. It's so much crazy how, like, sometimes, like, I will hop on the PS4 and I play 2K, but I'll play like one game.
Yeah.
One game is like 20 minutes, you know, because I'm kind of like bored. Let me just relax my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, me and Andre, we should try to do like we should charge people for doing music videos because we have the equipment. You know, I'm like, on my free time, I'm learning After Effects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to learn After Effects. Because I know After Effects, they have that like that kind of like crazy cuts. Where you can have one guy moving like this, and in the background, like, fade.
Yeah.
And, oh damn! And, like, Adobe, you cannot do that. Photoshop, only After Effects you could do that.
Only After Effects, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like,
Premiere is the one that we use.
Yeah.
To edit these videos, but that's like a basic.
That's basic, but pretty much After Effects is you're doing some crazy ass tricks. Like, you could do animation with it. You could do like crazy things, and you take that clip and you put it into Adobe. So you export it and then you put it into Adobe.
Would you say that requires a lot of space, right? Like, it requires like a lot of like storage space that you need, or
No, not a lot.
really?
Yeah, not a lot.
Because for me, like, the reason why I gave up After Effects, and I feel like I could probably get back into it. I don't like After Effects too much because it's so much. Like, I remember trying to do this one video, right, for like maybe a 2 to 5 second thing. It's like you have to put the lasso tool here, you have to connect this numbers. I was like, what the hell?
And each frames matter.
Oh,
So when you like cut out one picture, then you gotta go to the next frame, make sure it's lined up. Then you go to the next frame, and you're going by frames because every frame you're moving,
right?
so it always changes. So it depends what you're doing. It's like even a 10-second clip could take you like 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me. I'm like, ooh.
That's why I see why like they charge Like
OD.
music videos, a lot of money.
Commercials, music videos. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, me and Andre, we should do that. Cause Andre, I'm like, could you understand like the pan and stuff like that?
I can understand. I think you post production solid.
Post production, I feel like I could do it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, me and Andre, we could do like a freelance business where we charge like, cause
True.
we be like, yo, listen, like, we could like hit up people, cause we know a couple of music people.
Yeah.
We know a bunch.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and they was asking like, yo, like, can you like? I know a bunch of Tibetan people that hit me up. They're like, yo, like music video, like you know how to do music video edit and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I'm good at that. And they're like, yo, I'll pay. And I'm like, yo, me and Andre, we should do like a freelance thing where we work as a team. We figure out the thing and then get money from
True.
it, like
Yeah.
$300, $400.
Because we know, and I feel like
How much do you think we should charge?
honestly,
Minimum,
what for? Okay, because there's a lot of things.
because
that
we're
go
using
into-
our own equipment. We're using everything.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty much everything. It's a 2-man team.
Yeah.
So we're doing everything.
Per gig, or is it like how are we? I feel like we would the way I would see it is I would charge per gig. So if we have a whole
do you
setup
mean per gig?
per
Like
gig is like the whole thing, the whole video, right?
Okay.
From having the light set up, the video, like actually filming the people, down to the production, like editing,
Editing, yeah.
and then because editing
Editing is the hardest part
is the hardest part
and the longest.
and the longest, right? Because once you film, it's like filming is just you. It's like the blueprint, like you plan it out. Then editing is like layering it, like brick by brick, and actually building it. That's what editing to me. That's how I feel like it's like, right? So per gig, considering the fact that we're not crazy professionals, but we have an amateur understanding. That's what we would actually call ourselves, like an amateur, because we're not like pros where we have like licenses and stuff like that. Yeah. I feel like I don't know, $600 to $800 per gig. That's like reasonable.
I was thinking like 500.
Yeah,
500, 600.
600 is 8. I think 600 to 800. I think 800 is like a little bit on the upside, because if I would even say plus 600, because what if they have specifics? Some people might be like, oh, can I use this camera? Some people actually know like the camera gear and stuff like that. They're like, oh, when it comes to down to camera talk and like what we're filming, or are you guys gonna pan out like this? I'm like, yo, leave that to like the producers, because I've watched my cousin go into a film set. I'm not a film set, like a music set, and him filming and like the director. To be honest, I don't know too much about like the business side aspect of it, but the way that they did things, and I saw the camera gear they used, bro, they had the Ari.
Yeah, but they're charging like
That's bands though.
OD.
Yeah, that's bands.
50, 60 grand, right?
Yeah, but the way it comes out, when I looked at it, right? When I looked at the video, I remember my cousin brought me to a Busy Banks video, and when I looked at the video, I'm like, it's nothing too crazy. It's more so like just editing, panning. Yeah, it's like just your basics, and then add a little of like glitter on top, right? But I saw his vision. I saw the director's vision, and I think like with you too. I consider you like a director because you understand visioning.
Yeah.
And you could be like post because you're very like adequate with editing these videos. But the way we saw it, bro, I looked at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, maybe we might take a little longer, but it wasn't like that hard to achieve.
Yeah, it's, bro, like I look at music videos, right? And I was like looking at like ideas and the budget and the thing, and some dude, he filmed, right? Like some YouTuber, I think he has like 8K followers, right? He filmed a Kevin Gates music video with just himself.
A Kevin Gates music, like
Yeah.
you know Kevin Gates.
Yeah,
He's
I
an
know
actual.
Kevin Gates.
No,
mad followers.
Ooh, I'm a gangster. That guy.
Yeah, him.
Oh
Bro,
yeah.
this dude only by himself. He's like, yo, Kevin Gates like hit me up and like he
Yeah.
liked my shit, like, and I was only a 1-man team, and he's like, he wanted like a low budget because he's trying to like save money. You know? And he's making a lot of money. And he's like, he paid him like 40 grand.
That's low budget.
Huh? 40 grand just for himself, but he giving that extra money
Oh.
instead of paying like 200, because a lot of people pay 100K, 200K, and they're like, this guy's new, like, but he's good.
Yeah.
His post production is good, like, and it's a 1-man team. I don't really need a whole team like that. So like it was just him by himself. I'm like, damn.
You know what I wanted to
I'm like, yo, me and
tell
Archie,
you?
we could do some shit, because I feel like we're really good at it.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
I have the vision. Like I'm looking at ideas, like I'm looking at other music, like what kind of thing, like what do you need? stuff like, okay, the lens might be important. We might have to invest in a lens. We might have to invest in a better camera, you know?
Like the body.
And we like
Not even.
like a
These are
smoke-
solid though.
These are pretty good.
These are pretty good for starting. It's pretty good.
The music smoke screen and lighting, they're all cheap. They're like 150. You know, you get that smoke screen, the smoke comes out. I'm like, yo, we could get that, make it like I know lighting is important and like the
Yeah, we have like a basic understanding. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you a link later to you personally. My cousin sent it to me, and I saw it. He's like, yo, go. Literally, my cousin was like, yo, go try this opportunity out and see if it works for you. It's literally like not classes, but like an opportunity where like you're able to learn from people on like editing and stuff like that. I don't know. I haven't checked out the link. I just looked at like the first thumbnail and I was like, oh snap, like
it's a YouTube.
editing school. Nah, I don't think it's a YouTube. It's an actual link to like a website or
I
whatever.
learned all my I'm learning everything off of YouTube.
Off of
I have to
YouTube?
freak there. There's like smooth motion effect. They call it like the stutter effect, glitch effect. There's like so many things.
Yeah.
That's like, and then now I'm trying to learn the pad,
Mm.
how to use it. I'm like, yo, me and Andre, we could do like a quick side
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
And if we
I
do
get
like
you.
we get connection, and I'm like, yo, me and Andre, we could make like
True.
good money off of it.
And that's
Just
the
for
thing.
a side thingy. You know?
Yeah, just for that thing. Yeah. So, like again, I said like having all this set up is good, freelance and whatnot. And just to digress, just like come back down a little bit. For you and your channel, keep on doing it, right?
Yeah.
You spoke to me about the other day about Patreon, right? That's Patreon. What I didn't learn about this until I like towards the end of my summer semester. It's called crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is like things like GoFundMe, Patreon. It's a place where if you see value, if you, the viewer, see value in what the person is doing, whether it be podcast, we can even create a Patreon for this podcast and have people like help pay us, you know?
Yeah.
It's more so just to see and just to understand whether or not, you know, they flow with our vibe. And if they give us money, that means that we've been providing value,
Yeah.
you know? And I think you should create a Patreon for whatever. I think anybody should create a Patreon for whatever it is they do. Because it's more like for creatives, for creative people. And like GoFundMe, if I were to explain that simply, it's more so like either a life-threatening thing or just like emergency. So that's why people create GoFundMe, because crowdfunding is when you have a group of people that give you money, I don't know, willingly. What is that called? That word? Donation, but it's like...
Tip.
No, it's like what is that word? It's like volunteering. It's like a voluntarily give you money without like you just posting up something, and they give you the funds because they can relate. Oh yeah, I know. I feel bad for this person. Let me give them money. But Patreon is more so, yeah, like if
like
they
a
see
service.
it's like a service, because whatever it is, and I've seen it on their website. Like if you're a podcaster, if you're a musician, you're an artist, you create a Patreon, bro. OnlyFans, bro. Like these
Kinda
girls
like
are. That's
OnlyFans.
it's like kind of like OnlyFans, except it's not explicit. It's like you're actually putting in work. You know. So yeah, with all of this tied in together, bro, the things that we talk about, I wouldn't mind. That's good.
Yeah.
You know? My sister the other day was like, "Yo, Dre, look at this," and I saw the Wits sweater.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot I had that." And she goes, "Bro, like I'm not working right now. I'm doing," because my sister's doing a side thing, which is funny, and she like flips things from Japan.
Yeah.
You know, and she flips things from Japan. And she was like, "Yo, bro, like, let me know how to like just film, and I could just like film you on the other." Cause I was like a little ticked the other day when I first put out my video, cause the way it came out, it wasn't how I envisioned it from a cameraman point of view, from like a interviewer point of view. So it's good, you know. But just I shouldn't be mad at my sister because I didn't teach her like how to. But if I properly teach her, then like she'll probably.
I'll tell you one thing. If you're gonna go back to YouTube, right? I think you
it's
gotta
still in my
find
head.
something that you enjoy. Cause I don't think you enjoy in doing interviews.
A little bit.
You don't trust me. Because if you really enjoyed it, you would have not stopped after your first video,
I know.
right?
I know what gave me like I was just.
I'm sure it's not the anxiety part of you people are rejecting you. Of course you feel some type of way, but it's not that one that's stopping you. You don't enjoy doing it. You know? You gotta find something you enjoy doing, and then you will do it long term. For you, you gotta know what you're good at. Like that's my problem. Like you gotta know what you're good at. Me, I'm good. Like I'm like, okay, I said that. I'm like, yo, I'm good at Photoshop. I'm good at editing. I'm good at doing all of this stuff. You know. I'm like, yo, let me just try to make quick money, like freelance. Now I'm trying to like get into like music videos so I could freelance on that. That's why I want to edit. That's why one day like I want to do a music video for you. So then it's like a practice. You know, like I want to create a music video. I want to like do it. Fuck it, 1-man team. You know, and I will edit everything. I will edit everything.
I'll hold the light while I'm rapping, bro.
That's gonna be weird. Who's gonna be rapping?
Okay.
But I want to do it for you, and I want to like see how it comes out. Cause like I can't just charge somebody and I never done it before.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm like, yo, maybe Andre will be. That's why I was actually like, yo, whenever you're ready, I'm down to just shoot your music video.
Right.
You're good at music. You're good at music.
I feel like I belittle myself sometimes. You know what I mean? No?
Yeah, I feel you. You gotta enjoy what you like doing. What you like doing, you know, whether it's finance, what you're good at. If you like finance, get good at like you should do like YouTube, like teaching people how to trade, because you know stuff, you know the knowledge. I saw you read books, you actually traded forex. You create a YouTube channel how to like trade forex, beginner's guide to forex. Write down a script, something like you enjoy doing. If you don't like doing finance, or you don't want to talk about it, then do something like music, like your side gig. What do you like doing? You like doing music? Teach people how to create beats or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's for me like it wasn't because personally I enjoy it a little bit, but
Enjoy
what like number well, let's start with the interviewing part, because when I used to do it, I saw like I saw a little fulfillment, like, oh, this is kind of fun, right? And it wasn't, I think what stopped me that time was like I got back into school, so like I didn't have any time to put in like to the interviewing part, and it's like, oh, it's coming outside because like I feel like a podcast is much more relevant to do because it's not me interacting with other people, right? But with the interaction with other people, like it's a different way of marketing, the way I see it, because then people are like, oh, what's your channel? That's the way I see it. So this is the way how I see like, for example, when you did your interviews with Sean and Chops Wood, how I did with Wits, like when you meet people are like, oh, what is your channel? What is it you're talking about? And it's pretty interesting, right? Now for me, what my problem was is like coming up with ideas of what to say. But I felt like me trying to come up with ideas was just a barrier trying to slow me down. Like, yo, bro, Andre, like, stop it. Like, it doesn't matter what topics you have to say at first. Just get the ball rolling. Again, like running, like get the ball rolling and then thing again, you know? Yeah. So that's why some of the things that I say to you, I try to reflect it back into me. Like, yo, bro, Andre, you just said this advice to Sonam. Try to apply it in your own life. You know, so I'm like, okay, and now I'm understanding. Okay, take time, sit down, write down the things that you're really good at and the things that you have a passion for. I think that's what we need to figure out, like the things that we have a passion for. What you could do long
term, because longevity is very important. Longevity is super important. It's like, yo, can you see yourself doing this for the next 5 years? Always add 5+ years. Can I see myself doing this for the next 5+ years? Because when it comes down to YouTube, niche is very important. Yeah. And keeping it the same is very important. And we learned that the hard way, you know? So it's like, if you're going to do interviews, do it. And don't mess a single video out. No excuses. You know, after your first video, I'm like, okay, he's going. And after you didn't upload, I'm like, this is not something Andre want to do. Yeah. Because that's what I see. You know, I'm like, if Andre really enjoyed it and he was passionate and he loved it so much, you would have not stopped. You know, but like, I want you to, because you lost your YouTube channel, right?
I felt like that brought me down too. Yeah, no. Explain,
yeah. Like you lost your YouTube channel, and it's fine. Maybe it's like a guide, like a pathway. Like, yo, maybe you should lose it, do something different, and stick to that one niche. This is your chance to do something different and consistent. What was your problem last time? Consistency, not keeping the same niche. You were getting views with your cars. If you kept on doing car videos till now, you would have made like, you put about, would have like 200 subscribers.
50,000
no,
subscribers.
I think like 100, because like that, when you were doing the interview, like, oh, like 3 things by, I think something with the FR, they had like a lot of views. Yeah. Well, like 67K views or something like that.
It was kind of trending back then. Like, because at first it was brand new, like 2013.
People was buying cars. and even like the young kids will watch it, you know. So I'm like, yo, that's what I was like, yo, if aren't you gonna do car videos, like stick to it. Like I see TJ Hunt, China Fox, they do car videos, right? But it's like the simplest edit, like no crazy edit, just like straight cuts. All they do is cuts, and all they do is talk, but they're providing information with car buyers. And every year, remember, everybody is turning 18 every year.
That's true.
And everybody wants to buy a car, you know. So it's like, that's why I was like, yo, you should do car videos. Then I think you were like a little hard at it. You don't want to listen, you know. So I'm like, yo, you're good at car videos, bro. You have a FRS. A lot of people don't have that FRS. So I'm like, yo, you should just like ride it out, like doing stupid shit with your car, like squishing shit with my FRS or some shit like that, you know.
I totally get like where you're coming from and like the point that you're trying to bring out. I totally get it, and it makes sense, and that's what I'm gonna like take and like really. That's why this time, like, I know I'm done with school.
You should be a finance advisor. For
A
YouTube.
finance advisor?
Because I'll follow this Asian guy named Charlie Chang. He's like a finance advisor, and I watch him. I think he gets like 400. I think he gets a lot of views. You should do some shit like that.
I feel like when it comes on to like certain things like that, you have to be a master at. You have to you have to. I followed this guy recently. He was like, if you don't want to face face certain questions that your viewers give you, make sure you come in to the talk well prepared. Because you'd rather tell the person like the truth if you really like, oh, I'm kind of new to this, or I'm kind of new to that certain topic, but I will do my due diligence and research it. Because the guy that I was watching, he was like, he was mostly talking towards salespeople, but he was like, oh, so salespeople like to BS, which is not what we want, because we're trying to convert those people from those viewers to actually people buying, right? So instead of BSing them, tell them full up, like straight in advance. I don't know the answer to that yet, but if you give me some time, I could definitely research that for you. And
I feel like don't worry about like, yo. What's crazy is that what you said is I was watching Gary Vee's podcast like an hour long when I was doing Uber Eats, and then he was like,
today you did Uber Eats today?
No, yesterday.
Oh.
No.
I was like,
I wish. Yesterday I did 8 hours.
In the morning?
Yeah, I did
That's
morning and night. I've been doing that 11 to 2, no 10 to 2, and then come back home, charge my battery a little bit, relax, and then 5 to 9.
Okay.
When I was watching the podcast, the title was how like. Don't care what other people think and judge, you know, like, fuck it. He was saying that, yo, you don't have to be a master, an expert on giving advice. He said that, because, like, for example, like, when he was giving advice for parents, he didn't have a kid, right? But he said that the reason why I was giving advice to the parents is because I wasn't thinking from the perspective of the parents. I was thinking the perspective as a kid because I had a parent. Same with you. If you're doing finance and you're giving financial advice, don't think the perspective of being a financial mastermind. Think it as a consumer base. Like, what do I want to learn?
Right.
You get it? So you're teaching me, but you think from my point, like, oh, how can I teach him? What do I know that I could teach him? Don't think of like, oh, I have to be the super mastermind, because nobody's a master at things, you know, unless you put in like 30,000 hours, you know. Other than that, like, you're not a master. You're always learning. You're always a student. You know, there might be someone at the top that's better than you, but you're their student too, you know. So it's like, think it up like that, like the parents. Like, he gave advice to parents, but he wasn't thinking about the parents thing, you know.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
so I
that.
was like, oh shit,
that.
that makes sense. Like, you think of it like as a consumer, how can I teach this guy?
Yeah. Okay. I see what
Makes
you
sense,
mean.
right?
It does make sense, and it's like now I need to clip this and like put it and remember what you just said, because I need to write that down too, because it makes sense in a way. Like, you're taking yourself out of the position where you think you need to be an expert, when in reality, being an expert, like, think about it. We're in college, right? We elevate ourselves to study the most minuscule things. Like, okay, instead of saying I'm a finance major, you study finance to end up like being an expert at one thing, like bonds, you know, which is good and all. But the way you're saying is like, not a lot of people want to just know bonds. They want to know different aspects of the finance industry. So that's why it's good to cast your net around all these broad ranges of that certain topic that you want to talk about. And if there's a specificity that a viewer wants to learn about, then you delve deeper. Okay, I need to learn this a little bit more because my viewers are actually commenting about this a lot more than this topic. They're talking about Forex more than they are talking about bonds or interest rates, things like that. That's how I understand it. That's how you perceived it to me, how you told it to me.
Yeah.
So I need to do that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I feel like you should definitely come back to YouTube, but find something you could do consistently.
I need to take my time a little.
Yeah, you take your time. I want you to really take your time because I don't think interviews is the one for you. I might be wrong. You might enjoy it, but honestly, I don't think because we done it before.
Yeah.
You know, we done it 2 years ago, 3 years ago. We barely continued. We never we stopped. You know, it's never like we never stop. You know, so it's like, do you really enjoy it? Like,
Yeah.
and like I feel like when it comes down to you and me doing YouTube, we should do something where we could be comfortable out of the house and we could do it every single day. Because doing interviews is very hard to do it every day.
It's tough.
It's tough. Even every week is hard because now you got to come up with ideas and then you got to have this energy, and then you know it drains a lot. You know, because I feel like I haven't told you before when we first started our podcast. I'm like, you're so different. Like I don't feel tired. I don't feel drained after the interview, like after the podcast, because it's not really a lot of work. It's where we're like talking, we're sitting down, we're comfortable. It's just you and me.
Yeah.
We're comfortable. When we have like other people, we feel that sense of
Anxiety.
like, a little like anxiety and like, you know, like even having Mario, it felt weird because he's never at ours, like he's never here,
Right.
you know. So it feels kind of weird, you know, like you feel that. So it's kind of like that, like. Try to find something where you could do at your house or in your room, and you could do it
Consistently.
Then you will be able to be like, because I'll tell you one thing, PewDiePie and KSI are one of the smartest people. They upload every day and they're always at their crib.
For real.
They're chilling and they're relaxed. They're not dealing with nobody. It's only them and themselves.
Yeah.
And then of course they have editors, which that's the only person they deal with.
Yeah. That's true.
So I'm like, yo, even KSI said it when I was watching his podcast with Logan Paul. He was like, you know what? Like, Logan Paul, I don't know how you do it. Every single day vlogging, he's like, you must be unhealthy and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, like, Logan Paul was like, man, I was like the most unhealthiest. Like, I was like, my mental state was like so messed up. Like, I was at a point like I was going crazy because I was uploading every day. Even KSI was like, yo, you're so crazy for that. Like, even I can't do that. He said, that's why. KSI was like, that's why I look up to PewDiePie, because he's at his room making videos and he's entertaining people. So he said that KSI said that he started doing that. That's why if you look at all the KSI's video for like a bunch of years ago, at his house, and he's comfortable and he's just making income from that. Now with that income, he's like doing music videos, making more income, you know? So I'm like, oh, like me and Andre, we gotta figure out something like where you could do it at your crib and like you could just talk and you give information, or it's out there you're entertaining or giving value.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, something.
And for those of you guys that are out there, like that are just tuning in or you're just watching, god damn, we've been speaking for 43 minutes.
Yeah, the shit went by.
That's crazy. For those guys that are just tuning in, or like you guys are, you just guys through scroll the video. We're not trying to say like, let's say you're trying to do an interview, right? Or you're whatever it is that you feel like you initially want to do. We're not trying to say to give up on that, but just really sit down and like write down what it is that you love, what it is that you like. So then you don't have the problem going forward of, oh snap, I don't know what I'm gonna do for today. And I feel like that's with some people when it comes down to YouTube, and the way that they don't grow is not because of marketing, it's because the content they're creating doesn't fit tight with what their character is and what they're trying to portray, And that's, for those of you guys that are just watching, that's something that you need to consider, because going forward, obviously you're not going back. People watch, whatever you, like for example, when Sonam did the video with Ethiopian food, that eventually ran up the numbers because people wanted to watch that and people started clicking. YouTube does its own algorithm thing. It does what it got to do. But you putting out your content has to mimic your personality, your style, your character, your lifestyle, and it has to make sense. Because if people will know, excuse me, that coffee is good. People will know when you're like half-assing it or you're like faking and pushing, So the people can read the room. Yeah. So
I feel like with Lena interviews with like food videos is simple because all you're just eating. You're not dealing with nobody.
I think it's simple.
Yeah, it's simple.
But I don't know the way you.
No, it's
see it.
easy. It's easy to do food videos. It's not draining at all.
Mm.
It's actually comfortable. Like I feel comfortable, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, what I was gonna say. You should, you should just take the time and
I need to take the time. Yeah,
figure out-
because I advised it to you. I was like, yo, bro, like take the time to really, because you have your channel already. It's not that hard to like switch it up with a couple of things, like with a couple of months, not even a year. Like people will understand, oh, this guy's going a different route. If I still want to follow him, I'll follow him. If I don't, then because people follow you for you and who you are. I feel like sometimes we think that they follow us for our content, which is true, but they follow us because the type of person we are and how we react and respond to things,
yeah.
So but yeah, that's but we were really talking going into
so
that.
we were saying like, kind of like this should apply to you guys too. Like if you're really trying to figure out what you're trying to do, like just take the time and write everything down and don't rush into things. It's kind of like sad that me and Andre was like, I feel like we could have dominated YouTube, but we were very like wishy-washy. We really didn't know what we wanted to do. I feel like if we really figured out like long time ago what we wanted and we stayed consistent, we would have made it out already. I think we would have been in LA right now.
Yeah, we wouldn't be in this situation. But I understand, and I think if I were to give my old self an advice, right? If I were to look into this camera right now and tell my old self, my 18-year-old Andre, 18-year-old Sonam, what I've learned from this almost 8-year journey, right, is number one, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, write down the things that that you love and what you want to be doing. What you want to be doing, not what you feel like you need to be doing, but what you want to be doing. Number two, get better or get good at it, right? And then number three, don't procrastinate, but keep going at that steady pace. Set yourself a time. Let's say within a year, I plan to post up 53 videos once every week or twice every week. But go at your pace until you feel like you've achieved that runner's high and you could kick it up a gear. Okay, now I can do 2 videos. But don't always rush into certain things blind, like going into around the corner. Like you're playing CSGO, you're going around the corner. You feel like there's a guy there and the guy snipes you down, you're dead, So it's just like really take your time, really consider what you're about to do and plan out your actions and your thoughts.
Yeah, and always think long term, like, yo, whatever I'm doing, can I do this thing for like 5 years? Will I enjoy doing this for 5 years? Like if you say yes to that topic that you're gonna do, then do it, But like I tell you one thing, like long term is always the way to like think, and you will, no matter what, you will win, regardless. If you stick to that same topic and being consistent.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's a good way of putting it, And guys, we're done talking about this topic, so I wanted to bring out the fact that Sonam knows about this. In the past 2 podcasts, the whole car thing.
Oh yeah.
Guys, this is crazy. So the past 2 podcasts, obviously, the podcast previously to this one, me and Sunny was speaking about, or I brought up a topic in a conversation about me having a dream, right? So I wanted to bring it back up because it's crazy how the way world works and how, everything just comes full circle and you don't know why it does. I'm thinking it's like some celestial being telling me, yo, like really, because I saw what I saw and I've experienced what I've experienced in my dream, right? So a quick recap, I'll probably explain it to you in like 2 to 5 minutes. I had a dream, right? Two bad dreams. One was my dad was driving. We have a car, BMW, right? My dad was driving a BMW, and I told him, Dad, don't drive. You're not good. You're not feeling good. Just chill. Go back home. He didn't listen to me, right? And my dad got into an accident in a car, and that's what got me woken up. Like, started breathing and panting. We got hit by a truck. Remember that. Second dream is, again, I told my mom this time, yo, Mom, you're not feeling good. Chill. Like, go around, go back home, and park the car. So my mom decides to listen to me, and she parks the car, right? She parks the car. We're good. I wake up. I'm panting. I'm like, because the second dream was when my dad got hit by the truck, and I was in it too. And then I just woke up, that sense of, oh snap, what just happened? Breathing hard, blah blah blah. I tell Sonam about it in the podcast a week prior. Was it a week prior? Yeah, right. It was a week prior before happening.
Episode 10.
Yeah. So we did that podcast, right? It was uploaded in like whatever Wednesday.
I think you said it was like 3
Monday?
days before that where we did that.
Oh yeah, 3 days before the podcast went up. 3 days before the.
I think it was
3 days after the podcast.
Had Monday or Sunday.
Yeah, I had the dream. Yeah, I had a dream. Let's say, for example, I had the dream on Tuesday. The podcast went up on Monday, and I spoke about it 3 days before the podcast went up. And then here's the thing that happened. Okay, so I was playing basketball. I was uploading the video. When I was uploading the video for Monday, right? Oh, yeah, it was Monday. When I was uploading the video for Monday, I received a call from my dad. My dad received a call. My dad's like, "Oh snap, you wouldn't believe what just happened." I'm like, "What?" "Your mom got into a car accident." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Wait." I'm like, "Okay," because I told my sister, I'm like, "Yo, bro, can you export it when it's done?" And then they left the house. Whatever, they left the house, so they didn't export it. Now I came back home early, so this happened at 12 too. So my dad got the news. I was like, "What?" So I looked at how my sister was like, "Yo, damn, blah blah blah." The car got wrecked. We wasn't in the car. My mom and my sister wasn't in the car. They left it parked outside. So technically, it's not our fault. They left it parked, and I think a vehicle just like scraped it. It looks terrible, bro. I might even put the picture up.
It had to be a big car.
It had to be because, bro, it was a huge.
Yeah, it has to be a truck making a turn, and he couldn't turn.
That's crazy. Because then I thought about it, and I was like, I even told my dad and my mom after the fact, right? Because the only people I told was my sister and you about the dream when we talk about it in the podcast. So
And them.
and them. And you guys can say, yeah, true.
Yeah, we have proof.
We have proof.
I'm just gonna put up the picture, right?
I'll put up the picture.
That shows. Even
Bro,
I'm like, damn.
This is the picture right here on how the car got demolished. It was crazy though. It was only just the door, right? But what was funny was in my dream, my dad got into the accident, but in reality, it was my mom, and it was not even within a week. It happened. I was like, what the hell? I could have sworn I had the dream on Tuesday and it happened on Monday.
I feel like there's a part of your brain, I don't know,
that's
you had
telling
a subconscious mind where like, and the energy is like it's like a warning sign, Like
I feel like
we
had that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I have that. I don't know if you
ever
have
had
that.
dreams where it's like, oh, I felt like I've been here before. Like, oh, I dreamed about this.
Like deja vu.
Deja vu is like, yo, I dreamed about this. Like I had a dream and I'm here.
I've had those, and I'm just like, why? And this is the whole thing with like, oh, I feel like there's like a parallel universe where like I feel like I've been here, but that was it, guys. The story was that whatever I dreamt of happened in real life, but it didn't happen the way that I wanted it to. So then I went into deeper. I was like, yo, Dre, what if you start dreaming these crazy ass dreams where you become filthy rich, you have so much money, you're with your friends, like you start dreaming that, and that becomes your perception becomes your reality, because I'm like, yo, if a dream like that could happen, right? This is like tapping into your inner self. What makes you think that can also happen if you put positive dreaming into play? Like start dreaming big things.
Yeah.
Start dreaming the things that you really want to aspire to accomplish and to acquire. Because it happened, bro.
Yeah.
Like you've seen it.
I'm telling you, your vision is very important. Like if you sit down and meditate and you vision what you feel, that's what I always tell people do that. Like when you meditate, don't just like breathe, take deep breaths and stuff like that, but vision what you want in life. Like what you feel like. Oh, I'm in a nice house, big pool. What do you feel? Like, oh, I'm in the swimming pool. I feel the cold water. Who you're with? You're with your friends. What are you eating? Like, vision it like that.
Vision.
Yeah, that's like manifesting.
Yeah, that's what's good, and I think that we need to imply that. And I'm not saying for those of you guys that are watching, like dream like you have a yacht. I'm trying to say like be realistic as well, but don't be afraid to dream because like if stuff like that could happen, I just think of it. I thought of it as funny. Like I was laughing when that thing happened. I was like, I'm like, yo, it came true. And then I finally told my parents. But then in my head, I thought of it as a learning lesson. Like, oh, if I could dream that into making it happen. Maybe it was just out of pure luck. Who knows? Maybe. But in my head, I was like, okay, if, you know, what are the possibilities that if I do dream of things that I want to accomplish, it'll happen, you know? So just take that into consideration, guys, and, you know, be careful what you dream of. You know?
Like, what do you like? Because I had a conversation with my brother yesterday, right? Like, we were talking on the phone, and then
I like this.
he was talking about like I was talking about like my desires, like, cause he's like, yo, son, I'm like, you have this like restless mind, like, which I do, you know, like I have this like this thing about like, yo, like, that's why I feel like I get anxiety sometimes, because like I'm always constantly thinking about the future. I'm never like in the moment, you know. So I think that builds up a lot of anxiety.
True.
And for like that desire of me wanting to be like rich and have money is like, desire can be very like dangerous thing, because now you're just focused on one thing, which is money, right?
I see.
I feel like I gotta sometimes I gotta tell myself like, yo, just chill out a little bit, you know, just chill out, like just try to relax a little bit, because like all week, you know, I've been working, you know, all week. I haven't even taken a rest. Like I wake up early, I get ready for work, you know, then I come back, and within those 2 to 3, like I'm laying in bed, but I'm watching YouTube videos on how to do After Effects and stuff like that, like,
Right.
and then and also like take the time to write, see what I want to do, you know, like, cause like I'm doing Uber Eats, right, and I'm at this point where like, yo, I'm fucking like, I don't like this, like I don't like this, I feel uncomfortable, like, you know, I feel like people's gonna judge me, like this and that, but like in my head I'm like, yo, this is like I'm so much better than this, like, you know. So now like I'm like, yo, I gotta figure out a way, like crazy passive income, like I gotta figure out a way. And like the desire for money is like, I know a lot of people stress about money, you know. Do you feel like you're the same? Like,
I do. To be honest, I do. I think about it like this. I know in the teachings of Buddhism that they say desire is like the root, like you're supposed to let go of desire. Am I correct? Maybe you could like correct me.
no, yeah, you're right.
And that, but does that apply only to monks, or is that
Monks.
like monks
Mostly
only,
monks,
right?
Yeah.
Obviously, me and you are not a monk.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not gonna be a pastor. You know, I don't know. I don't see myself as a pastor, you know, and I just see myself, you know, like obviously like following the teachings of Christ and whatever. But the way you're explaining it to me, I don't feel like desire. For me personally, I don't feel like desire is a wrong thing. Whatever you want to desire in life, right? You want to desire having money. You want to be, how do you say, comfortable, right? Where you're not thinking, oh damn, I gotta get ready for work, and you know, and I understand that, and that's where humility and being humble kicks in, because you have to understand that, bro, you gotta think of it like this: some immigrants would be glad to be working with Uber Eats or having a job for that matter, right? They make their money doing the crazy thing, like whatever it is that they have to do, they go for it, because the place that they came from was much worse than where we are, right? And I think we didn't have that. We didn't have that. The place where we came from is like bottom, where it's like, oh snap, like we were still comfortable, right? Because we were taken care of. I feel like we didn't have that since the beginning, that we had to struggle and this and that. That's why, like, when we think about it, I feel like for me, like I complain a little bit, because I'm like, oh, I gotta be really great. You gotta be grateful. Yeah, is what I'm trying to say. You know, but having a desire of you being rich is because you know your self-worth, and that's not wrong. And when your brother was talking about you being restless, he could, maybe the way he should phrase it is, hey brother, like take time into providing self-care for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I like, maybe he doesn't understand your vision, and only you do. Maybe I don't understand your vision. Only you know yourself better, you know, than anyone else. You know you, right? I like to keep that in my head. So whatever, you know, don't let anxiety try to kick in, but whatever you see happening in your future, let it come to fruition, and let it just flow like water. But just know that you're gonna go through hard times, and that's part of the process. You know,
Yeah.
you cannot diminish yourself. Don't belittle yourself, and don't be so condescending. That's what my sister says. Like, yo, bro, some people would love to be doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like my boy, you know about it. You're in the group chat. I see it a little bit. Michael just became a CFA, so he's a chartered financial analyst, and to us, we see it like, yo, bro, like you're making money now, right? And you're so, but you were never in his shoes where he had to take the time and burden himself with all these study sessions, understanding what all these meant, topics, you know, years on years on years and hours of just constantly like studying.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people see behind the glory. People just want to, oh, this is, the glory is mine, you know? But all the hard work that they put in, people don't see that.
Yeah.
You know, so my thing to you is all the hard work that you put out, whether you're working, whether you're studying, in the filming industry, right? Use that as time to really like sit back. Don't let nobody bother you, right? And just go forth in whatever it is that you want to desire.
Yeah.
Don't let whatever those negative thoughts, clear that out. Don't ever think those
Like me,
negative.
like, I don't like when I was thinking, like, I'm like, yeah, like I'm grateful. Like I wake up, good energy, you know, I'm healthy, you know. I have the energy, you know, like, and I always wake up grateful, like, oh, like, yo, like this is the journey. Like, yeah, of course I'm uncomfortable, you know. That's good. It's a good thing. I don't like doing this shit. Like, I'm not like happy where I'm at, you know. But I'm happy. I'm not happy where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? But I'm joyful and I'm grateful when I'm working, when I'm surviving. I like the journey process, you know. It's fun, you know. And of course, like being like when like what he was trying to say was like when you're chasing money, right? Don't always have that focus point. Like try to like have fun a little bit. Like I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, you know, like Saturdays is where I'm gonna hang out with the family, and then
That's
I
good.
think this Wednesday we're all gonna go to the spa. You know, Tashi took
Yeah.
off, Sunny took off. You know, you don't work, I'm gonna take off. So yeah, we're gonna go to the spa. So I'm like, yeah, that's once in a while. But I'm like, you know, there's so many, cause I'm at that point where I'm like, yo, I'm getting old now. You know, like now, like I really like gotta like be working like 6-7 days. You know, that's what I think. I should be working like 6 days minimum. You know, I shouldn't like, cause I have so much time. You know, especially I'm doing freelance. You know, so I'm not really working on nobody. So everything is on my own time. So whatever I do is like on my energy. That's why like I'm able to do a little bit more than the regular person, you know. And I got nobody to listen to.
That's
nobody
good.
to like fucking talk to me and bother me.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing Tashi was like saying, like I'm gonna say this to you, like if you get all your money taken away, if you get your wife, your kids, your family, everything taken away from you, what do you have? Personally.
Myself.
That's true, but what else? What else can you think of?
What characterizes me? The only thing I could probably think of is
Like
what
what do you have?
characterizes
Like
me
what do
as
you
a
have
person.
that you enjoy if you don't have none of that?
Oh, okay. I'm trying to get my zone here. If I didn't have money, if I didn't have a girlfriend, family, I would still possess the knowledge and the wisdom that I've accumulated over that period of time, right?
Okay.
Are you trying to say that, okay, are you trying to say, I'm sorry, I'm closing my eyes, I'm just trying to picture. Are you trying to say that I'm not able to get back what I have, or
No, you lose everything.
you lose everything?
You lose everything.
So that's more of like
Like, would you
describing
still
a
be
person.
happy? Would you still like?
Okay.
Would you still continue with life? Would you still like?
Okay, my answer is yes. I would be happy because of the fact that regardless if everything gets stolen, let's say I become homeless, right? And I'm down dirt. Like that's the bottom of the bottom, right? At least I'm still breathing. I'm still grateful at the fact that I'm still able to enjoy this life because we come into this world with nothing.
Yeah.
If I come out with nothing as well, it's like equal proportion, equal distribution. I came in with nothing. I came out with nothing. I gained a lot of knowledge. I gained a lot of insight and whatever, but I didn't technically lose anything, right? Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you come out. That's the saying. Like if you if you were born poor, that's not your fault. But if you die poor, that is your fault. But in a way of characterizing a person's character and his personality, if I was to have nothing, I would still be happy. I would still be kicking. Obviously, you would go crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I would go crazy, like nothing, you know.
Yeah.
But just the fact that I'm able to appreciate moments like this, the moments that I have with you, the moments that I have with the relationship that I have with other people, that's what keeps me going. Because, in fact, you, your brother, everybody that I've had a mutual relationship with, whether they be little, whether they be big, Grandulos, that pushes me to keep on going. And, you know, everybody motivates me. I don't know if that makes any
good.
type of sense. Because at the end of it all, like, again, like, we're dust.
Yeah.
We come from dust. We return to dust. The way you're portraying it is like, would you still be happy? I reflect that question to you. If you were put into that position, how did you answer, brother? What did you say?
I said myself. Like I
Yourself?
have myself, my knowledge, my like, because I know who I am, you know. Like,
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of people think like when I'm, cause the reason why he said that to me is because he thinks like I'm always thinking about money. I'm always thinking about being successful. Like if I don't reach my goal, like, which is like I understand because it's not good for the mind if you focus on one thing, and especially if it's about money, because money doesn't fix nothing, you know. It fixes some things, but
It
not
does.
everything, you know. But like he's trying to say like cherish. I think like he does. I don't know, cause he I know he's like a softie, but I think he was trying to say like cherish the moments with your family, with your friends, and I'm like, yeah, of course, like he's like try to do that more, you know. Like I'm like, yeah, like I feel like once a week is fine,
Right.
You know, like once a week, you know, like try to do that. I'm like, yeah, I think like once a week, maybe like once a month with your friends is like fine, you know, like you guys hang out, because at the end of the day, everyone have like goals and desires.
Yeah.
So his perspective might be like hanging out with his friend 5 times a week, friends, family thing, and then 2 days for himself. That's his thing. For me, when I look at that, I'm like, you're just wasting time. You know,
Right.
That's what I think.
But that's different perspectives.
Yeah, that's different perspective.
different ages. There's
Yeah.
different gaps between
Yeah.
you and your brother.
Because he
Where
wants
he's coming
different
from.
things than I want different thing, you know?
Exactly.
So it's like, I
So-
see what he's trying to say. It's like, just try to cherish the moments with your friends. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Like, the only reason I want to make so much money, it's not for myself. It's for my family and my friends. So we all be good. That's my purpose, is to get, like, to have my friends and my family set. That's why I wake up every day. That's what, like, when I was watching, like, the thing about, like, having purpose, is, like, it's very important to have purpose, especially in your life, because having purpose is the one that keeps you going in life. You know, if you don't have a purpose and you're just there, then you're going to be depressed. As a human thing. Every man and woman, you need a purpose to strive in life, to do better in life. What is your purpose? My purpose, why I'm here, is for myself and my family and my friends, so that we all be set and good and we don't have to worry about money. You know, my family, my mom will retire. Your mom and dad will retire. You know, Gabe's it's like a thing. So like I wake up every day and I think like, yo, this is my purpose. I'm doing this for everybody, and then have goals. Like that's why you always try to have a purpose. Like why are you
Amen.
here for? What you're here for? You know, like what are you trying to do? So are you doing that today? Are you freaking like sleeping? You're not doing nothing? Then
That's a no
that-
purpose.
Yeah,
mindset.
there's no purpose. That's what, like, always wake up with a purpose. Like, what's your purpose? That's why I have a purpose.
That's
Try to
good.
have a purpose. Yeah.
And I feel like you've changed since the first podcast. That's
Yeah.
a different sonam from what I'm hearing. A lot.
I feel like I did change.
That's a great thing. And the way that I see it, the way that you're explaining it, how I'm perceiving you is, at first I was like, oh, is that a selfish statement? But no, when I come to think about it, the way that you're explaining it now to me and the way you're bringing it up front, you're actually thinking about others a lot more than yourself, which places that burden on you. And that maybe that's why you're feeling like, oh snap, because you have so much. You feel like you're putting expectations from people that didn't expect nothing from you, but you're leveling, you're setting the level,
Yeah.
right? So you feel like people are expecting this and this out of you, when in reality, no one expects nothing. right?
Yeah.
You have to just set your own standards, set your own bar, right? And then surpass that. I think I saw this. Shakif posted this on Instagram earlier today. People think they're, what did it go? It's supposed to be like you're in battle not with the people around you, but just trying to be a better version of yourself today. And whatever you just said, I was like, whoa, that was different, Sonny. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, and it's a good thing. It's also it's good to have balance. You know,
Yeah.
don't just now start thinking about everybody else and not worrying about yourself. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Also,
Balance.
balance. Be a little selfish, but have that. How would you say? I know I'm a whole Christian, but have that yin and yang. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So once you figure that out, and you already talk about it, once you have purpose, that's it.
Yeah, cause like I feel
No
like a lot of
stress.
my friends and my family, they think like, oh, like someone's making money, like, you know, he's barely hanging out with us, blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, like, yes, there's sacrifices you have to make. You know, there's certain sacrifices you have to make, whether you like me or not. This is what I want to do, and I feel like this is what for me, like this is why I feel like I'm here, cause I feel like a lot of people at that moment where it's like it's kind of selfish for themselves, where they're like, oh, I'm doing this for me. But like for me, like at the end, I feel like I'd be happy if I'm with my family and my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like if we were like hanging out, I feel like that would be more like much better for me.
It'll
'Cause
be
I feel like-
self-rewarding.
yeah, for family and friends, especially if we're doing the things we want to do. You know, like like travel, like I could travel with my family, my friends anytime I want. We don't have to work a lot. We can go to the gym together. We do this and that. Like I feel like that's more important. But for me to get that, like I feel like we gotta do that at a certain like. You gotta like make certain sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like being restless, like not hanging out all the time, because in the future, because we're all still young.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I want to be at that point where we're like 40, 45, and we're like, yo, we're chilling. I worked so hard. Like now, like all of you guys are good. You know, like you guys quit your job. You're making so much money. You know,
Now we're reaping the benefits. But it has to start with you going through the adversity and hardships now.
yeah,
Because you can't expect, we're gonna be living life,
Uh-huh.
you know. But bro, like you didn't put in your hard work
That's
now,
true.
you know, for you to be. And we think that, you know, once our life is fully set and we have our things settled, like we're gonna experience bigger problems, more harder problems. That's later down the line, right? But right now, as of today, grind it out. Whatever it is that you want to do, fully 100% commit. Grind it out.
like yesterday, like I'm thinking, like, damn, it's freaking hot.
It was, bro.
People were tipping me high. They're like, yo, I can't believe you're outside working, you know. And then I'm like, yo, like in my head, I'm like, when the lady told me, she's like, oh, I'll give you like, she gave me like an extra $5. You know, she also gave me $5 on the app, so it was like $10 for like a 1 mile delivery. I'm like, damn, thank you, you know. But she's like, damn, why are you so like outside? People's like, it was like busy, it was red. That's how you
Right.
know it was like nobody wanted to come out. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, this is like the difficult times. This is the hardship. Whereas like, even though it's hot, even though it's raining, you still gotta push through it, because no matter what, that's your goal. So I'm like, yo, fuck, like I'm gonna just push through it, you know.
CEO, bro.
Yeah.
CEO. That's
Yeah.
why you're like CEO. You're controlling every opportunity that's being
like
given
me,
to you.
like people's like, yo, make that sacrifice. Like for me, like I'm happy to make that sacrifice, especially for me. Even if I out in the rain, out in the heat, you know, like I know what to do for myself. You know, I'm drinking water, making sure I'm hydrated. You know, like I'm not selfish. Like I'm not gonna go dry. Like I'm gonna do this till I pass out. No, I'm not like that. I'm not that stupid. You know, I'm not that. I'm not that like
yeah.
crazy, you know.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I'm hydrating about like the 1.5 liter water I'm drinking constantly, making sure I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
I feel good. So like, I'll be happy to make that sacrifice. That's what I was telling my mind, like, yo, like when I'm 40, like 40, 45, like I want to be with my family and my friends, you know, like that's what I was thinking about. Like I'm like at the end, like I know, because I look at my parents, I look at my uncle, I look at your, you know, you have parents that your dad and mom is still working, you know, and they didn't have that knowledge that we have.
Yeah.
You know, they came from like a third world country, and then they came here when they were like 25, so they didn't really have the knowledge of like that you're able to retire at an early age if you do the things you're doing now at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Yeah, you could go work to you 9 to 5, but they want to make you work to 9 to 5 till you're 60,
So
your
you-
age of retirement.
forever.
Yeah, that's your age retirement. A lot of people don't even make it to 60. You know, a lot of retirement is like you gotta work 40 plus years in this company or 30 plus year to retire. I mean, yeah, that's kind of crazy. You know, but I'm thinking like, damn, like I look at my uncle like working 6 days a week.
So
scratching his I look at like, you know, Chiwi's dad like
bugging.
6 days a week. I'm like, yo, you're getting old now. You that's what I was telling him. This like, yo, hang out with your family, hang out with your friends. Like, if you're happy, like, yeah, you can't be. Don't think about money. You know, don't think about money because now you're old. You're a little bit older now. You know, like I tell my uncle, I tell this to Ruben, like, yo, you're getting a little bit old. Like, cherish the moments with your family.
Amen.
Like, be there because anything could happen. Like,
True.
you know, he's old, like 50, right? 50 something.
Yeah.
Even my uncle's like 45 and he has 2 kids. I'm like, yo, you guys working 6 days a week, 12 hours. Like, yeah, it's your business, but be smart. Hire people you could trust. Yeah, you might lose a little money, but you're still making money to survive and be with your family, taking care of your health, working out, living longer, and being that's the point. I feel like I want to be at that age, like
True.
to be like maybe make way more money than them, you know.
Yeah.
But not work as crazy because I'm around like 40, 45. That's when I want to be like
Settle.
with the family and friends. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. You set your standards, right? Now it reflects back like, okay, what's their perspective? Then you got to ask them that question. Why do you do this? Then you ask them, what's your purpose? Because you know how you said that, you know, you have a different view from how your brother views things. So then you got to think about it like that. Like, you got to bring it to your uncle, or I got to bring it to my girlfriend's dad. I got to bring it to my parents. Like, what's their purpose? What do they see? You know, they might have a different vision. And then once you come to an understanding and agreement, and once you've understood where that person is coming from, then you'll be able, I feel like then we'll be all able to sit down with ourselves and be like, just accept it for what it really is.
Yeah.
At face value.
I feel like because I spoke to them about it, and I'm like, you know, like, why are you working so hard? You know, like, relax a little bit. and then what they tell me is one of the, like, I feel like is the dumbest answers. Is I have no one. I have to be here.
You don't have to be there.
No,
They're
but they feel
placing
like that because they
themselves.
don't trust nobody to run their business.
That's what's gonna limit them from creating a bigger business.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
what I'm saying. So it's like, that's kind of like a bad excuse because you could always find someone that you could trust.
Yeah.
You know, you could look at statements, but they don't have that, like, that mind in their head, like, yo, you know, like, it's very hard to jip me. Everything's like credit card, it's less cash, you know, like nobody's gonna take money from you, you know. So that's how my uncle feels. So I'm like, but you could find someone, you know.
Yeah.
You could hire me. You don't want to make that initiative to pay me minimum wage, you know what I'm
True.
saying? So it's like, it's not, at the end of the day, you're taking a toll on your life, your time,
Yeah.
and you're missing the part where hanging out with your kids and with your family and stuff like that. I'm like, Ruben, you should have went to vacation with.
I think
When I
he's gonna
saw-
go. I think he's gonna go.
No,
Why
but
is
he should have went with his family.
True.
It's 2 different
That
things.
makes sense. Yeah.
You know, I know it's very, because now your whole family's being there and you enjoying. Your daughters are appreciating, hey, my dad took the time out. And even the wife will appreciate it more, and the family will appreciate it more. When they all go to Mexico, I'm sure other people's like, oh, how come Ruben didn't come?
Yeah.
It's like that. And I know how family runs. You know, every family
Yeah.
is the same. They care about
The
Ruben.
ones that missing. Yeah.
Because I know their family is good, but I was telling Ruben, like, yo, like, like, hang out with your daughters, like, and your wife, because you never know what might happen. You know, I'm like, yo, working like 6 days a week is like, it's kind of like 7 days a week is kind of like
Draining.
crazy. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, when I saw him that night when I was
Yeah.
thinking, I was telling him, like, yo, you should have went with your family. You should have relaxed a little bit. He's like, yeah, I should. I'm like, yeah. You know,
It just depends on that person.
yeah.
You know. But
I mean, you got your brother, you know, you got Andre, like, they're people you could trust.
Right.
You know? They won't do nothing bad, like, you know.
they don't want to rely the baton. You know.
Yeah.
At the race, they don't want to give it.
Sometimes you gotta take a chance.
And then when you take that chance, then you'll see the true person. Like, okay, if they're able to be trustworthy, you know.
Am I still making the same
Am I
amount
still
of money?
making-
Look at the Yelp reviews. Oh, it's the same, but actually done better.
Yeah. That's why there's always opportunity cost. I think that's the thing that came out for me in finance class. An opportunity cost is when you have something. What's an alternative that's better from the thing that you're doing today? What's a better something better instead of you working. What's something better? Appreciating time with your family. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada yada. That opportunity cost is the thing that's going to define you as a person. Whatever you do in your life is your responsibility. But don't be, regretting things down the line. Oh man, I should have been with my family. Oh, I should have worked a little bit more when I was younger. Just at the end of the day, we have to simplify things. Take it step by step, day by day. Understand where you're going to go, but know that it's not a straightforward path. It's more so, I gotta climb this mountain. I gotta run this forest. This is figuratively. I'm not saying like you can go through a mountain. Figuratively speaking, that's how life is.
Yeah.
Let's regress. That was crazy, bro. We've spoken for an hour and 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Wow.
An hour and 20 minutes, man. We didn't even rap. Forget the rap. We'll rap next time. But this was good, bro. This was early in the morning too.
Yeah, and initially I wanted to come here talking about like mental health, but I'll save that for the next podcast.
I feel like we've touched up on some.
Yeah, I want to get a little bit more deeper.
Let's get deeper.
Next on the next video. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's the first time.
Yeah, whatever we're telling you, we're telling this for ourselves and you guys too, so you guys will understand what we're going through,
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to the channel.
Hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm just repeating whatever Sonam said. That coffee was good, though. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, bro. We got something new, guys.
Yes. Oh, then Mike.
Yeah,
so much better.
It's much better.
I could go like this.
Yeah.
Soon.
I'm telling you, I think we have to envision the place that we're gonna have soon, whether it be here in the city.
We'll talk.
We'll
about
look at it later.
But anyway, guys, take it easy and see you guys on the next video. Peace. I think we should have an outro song.
It goes a little something like.
That was good.
You